Hello, how are you all doing? Hope you're well. If you are seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Bola, and in this video, I'll be sharing with you tips on how you can pass your life in the UK test at your first attempt here. I recently sat for my life in the UK test at my first attempt and I passed. So I want to share with you those things that I did, the tips that I followed that helped me pass at my first attempt. Okay. So before I proceed, I would like to talk about what the life in the UK test is all about. The life in the UK test is a requirement, is one of the requirements you need to pass before you can put in for your, if you are planning to put in for your ILR, your settlement, or for your British citizenship. You need to sit for this exam and you need as well to pass the exam. So the life in the UK test is a requirement you need to submit alongside other documents to file for your ILR or your British citizenship. Okay, talk about the life in the UK test cost. The test costs £50. If you go on Google, you put the life in the UK test, UK Gov website. Is going to take you to the life in the UK test. Okay, so you need to follow the step-by-step process that is on the site for you to register for the test. You need to follow the step-by-step process. Okay, the cost I've mentioned is £50, and there are various centers where you can write the exam. Just choose the one that is closer to you or the one you wish to see exam. So after you registered, during the course of your registration, they tell you need to be at your center at least 30 minutes before your time. 30 minutes before your time. So the test is 24 questions. You will be having 24 questions, and the time required is 45 minutes. Okay, 24 questions for 45 minutes. I have seen people who say, oh, they sat for their exam for, it didn't take them like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, it doesn't really matter how long you'll be using for the test. Either you are spending the whole lot of the 45 minutes or less. The basic thing is for you to pass the exam. Okay, the basic thing is for you to pass. All right, so let me jump in, though I don't want to make the video too long, to drop the tips what I did that helped me pass at my own first attempt. Okay, there is an handbook for the test that you can either buy, or if you surf through the internet, you can get a version of it on the internet as well. For me, I didn't buy the handbook, the Life in the UK handbook. I didn't buy it, but I got on the internet. So I'm going to be leaving you the YouTube where I got the Life in the UK handbook for free that I studied with. And in that handbook, we've got 5 chapters. There are 5 chapters. Okay, the first chapter talks about the values and the principles of the UK. That chapter 1, I find it quite interesting that even if you did not really read the handbook and you see questions from there, you can still pass. Okay, because the questions there were quite easy and simple for me. Okay, chapter 2 talks about what is the UK, the geographical location of the UK and all of that. So chapter 3 talks about is a long history. Chapter 3 talks about the history of the UK. So while I was reading this book, I found chapter 3 very boring. It was lengthy, talk about history that dated to as far back as 1800, those events that happened at the BBC, AD and all that. So I found it very, very boring. It was lengthy, so I had to move to the next chapter. So chapter 4 talks about the modern thriving society, and chapter 5 talk about the UK government. Okay, I found chapter 5 very interesting, where it talks about the rule of law, the UK government, and all of that. Okay, so while I was studying, and I found out that there were so many dates I couldn't have remember offhand. Yeah, so what I did was to write them out. I put them, like, for example, for England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, I had to put like the dates of their patron saints day, and I have to put it alongside, so which one is for which one, put them alongside, and any important thing that is associated with that date, I had to put it so that I will not miss them together. Okay, I put those dates down that I was finding difficult to just cram off head. Okay, there are so many dates that I just have to write them down. After writing them down, I put it, I highlighted it. What this is what this date is all about. This is what this date is all about. So that really helped me to concentrate. So anytime I just want to go to read about that, I just move over to my jotter to read those dates. Okay, so another thing I did while I was, searching for material, I did not solely depend on that book. I had to practice questions. Practice questions I came across on the internet. Please, there are so many sites that will give you questions that you begin to wonder that, oh, did I not even read enough, but please, I would like you to go through these two important sites. One is a YouTube channel and the other one is on Google. Yeah, that YouTube channel is Life in the UK Test Web. Life in the UK Test Web. There are so many questions you can practice. I think they have up to 19 questions, that you can practice with. So many questions, like 1 to 19, and each one contains 24 questions. You know what I mean? Okay, so you can do well to practice all of these questions, because I took out my time to practice for all of these questions. So I would like to say that every of the questions I practiced, every questions that was on that site, the question I got all of that questions came out from that site, Life in the UK Test website. All the questions I got came out from there. They might not be literally the same word, and they are coined differently, but they still mean the same thing. The words used in my own exam were not exact words that were from those questions. They are coined differently, they use different English, but they still meant the same question. So if you are practicing, if you're trying to write, if you're writing your Life in the UK exam, please go to that site, practice as much questions as you can. The questions there are very, very helpful. When I came across that channel, I took out my time to practice all of those questions. I did them like 3 times before I start for my exam. And I tell you here that all the questions I got were in that questions I've practiced. Though they may not be like the exact word for word, they are coined differently, but they still have the same answer, the same meaning. Lest I forget, the questions you'll be having are objectives, like a questions, and you have 4 options to choose from. You'll be having like option A, B, C, D to choose your answers from. So another tip I did was to try elimination method, like, oh, it can't be this one, it can't be this one, it's definitely this. Okay, so you can also try that. So in all, what really helped me were those questions I practiced from that site, Life in the UK Test Web. Okay, so do well to check this channel out yourself. Go there, practice as many questions as you can. you know. Another thing I did, where after practicing those questions, I could actually relate it back to what I have read in the handbook. Okay, so I had to, you know, put them side by side. Okay, this questions is coming out from this chapter, all right, you know what I mean. So I tried that, and at the end of the day, on my first sitting, I passed the life in the UK test. If I can do it, you can also do it. So the practice questions I practiced were from Life in the UK Test web and Life in the UK Test site on the website. Okay, so those were the tips I followed, you know. Those were the things I did that helped me pass my life in the UK test. Okay, so I wish you success. I wish you success in your upcoming exam. If you're yet to sit for your exam, quickly rush down to that channel, go and view the questions, practice as many questions as you can, and I tell you that you're going to pass your exam successfully. All right, till I come on your way again. See you next time. Bye. Love you.